nalantad na itong mga bank accounts ng Vice Presidente. Ayan, absolute nga ba o hindi itong bank secrecy law natin? Bank secrecy law natin?
Okay, ganito kailangan ipaliwanag natin. While there is an exemption, ang exception dyan is, one of the exemption is during the impeachment court hearing. Dito during this procedure, sa House of Representatives, hindi pa exempted yung hindi pa impeachment court yan. So hindi pa pwede yung bank secrecy law still applies at that level.
So sa panahon niyo, Congressman Bong Suntay, tama po ang BIR na huwag ilahad yung ITR bank accounts ng Vice Presidente.
Yes, tama yon, tama yon.
Posible po ba na dadalhin po ninyo ang usapin na ito sa Korte Suprema if may nakita po kayong paglabag sa constitutional rights ni VP Sara?
I think you said it yourself, no? Kung yun yung nilalaman ng batas, malinaw naman yung sinasabi ng batas, that those information are strictly confidential, cannot be disclosed. Hindi ba?
Nako, iyari si Piggy Bank dito. Yari yung bagong director ng AMLA dito.
But we've seen otherwise from what happened before the committee hearing yesterday.
Nako, magtuho tayo dyan sa nangyaring press con ng defense team na itong si Vice President Sara Duterte. Ibang klase po palang bumalagbag itong si Atty. Sheila. Mula kay Abante, Redon, hanggang kay Luis Troy, talaga hong tinamaan sila dyan sa press con na yan ng defense team na itong si VP Sara. Pero bago ho yan, pasadaan ho muna natin ang interview netong si Congressman Bong Suntay dito kay Cadeo Macalma. Wala ho tayong maraming pag-uusapan dito sa video na to. Re-recta ho tayo dito sa ating dalawang video na to. Unahin na ho muna natin itong kay Cadeo Macalma. Pero bago ho yan, mega love shoutout dito kay Sir Herbiscal. Palakpakan ho natin. Maraming salamat, sir, ha. Maraming salamat sa pagpapakulay sa ating mga nakalipas na video. Mega love shoutout. Ilang 10 months na palang member tong si Sir Herbiscal. Itong si Sir Raymond Federico Picar, 1 year. Itong si Sir Jordan Cabico, 1 year and 5 months. Grabe, tatagal na. Yung iba naman no, kasi matagal na rin member. Kaso hindi siguro na-renew tapos nag-member sila ulit. Parang nare-reset Nare-reset yung kanilang status kung gaano katagal. Pero matagal na ho nating nakikita yung mga comment ng ating mga kasama na yan dito sa PH Play. Direkta ho tayo dito kay Cadeo Macalma.
Bong Suntay, kung ano ang kanilang masasabi kasi siya rin isa sa mga kumu-question, ha?
Yeah.
Yung bank secrecy law. Ano ba talaga? Meron nga bang absolute ba yan? O merong exemption to the rule? Dahil sinasabi naman ni Congressman Joel Chua ang exemption daw sa bank secrecy law ay sa mga impeachment proceedings.
Daming bayan.
Congressman Bong Suntay, sir, magandang umaga po sa inyo. Kong Suntay.
Ay, Lakay Deo, magandang umaga rin sa inyo. Good morning po. Good morning.
Ayan, Congressman. So, una po, pag-usapan nga natin kasi nalantad na itong mga bank accounts ng Vice Presidente. Ayan, absolute nga ba o hindi itong bank secrecy law natin? Bank secrecy law natin?
Lakay, ganito kailangan ipaliwanag natin. While there is an exemption, ang exception dyan is, one of the exemption is during the impeachment court hearing. So pagka nagkaroon na ng impeachment court, pwede ngayon isubina ng impeachment court yung mga bangko. And yung prohibition under the bank secrecy law is deemed inoperable. Pero kailangan natin i-define o ipaliwanag kailan ba sisimula yung impeachment trial. Di ba ang impeachment trial is pagka yung articles of impeachment na nanggaling sa House of Representatives na ipadala na sa Senado. And the Senate convenes itself into an impeachment court. Doon sa House, sa Committee on Justice, preliminary, investigative, nasa investigation level pa lang kami dyan. Kung saan hinahanapan, tinidetermine if the complaint filed is sufficient in form and substance. So, dito during this procedure, sa House of Representatives, hindi pa exempted yung
Bank
hindi pa
secrecy law.
impeachment court yan. So hindi pa pwede. Yung bank secrecy law still applies at that level.
So sa pananaw niyo, Congressman Bong Suntay, tama po ang BIR na huwag ilahad yung ITR bank accounts ng Vice Presidente.
Yes, tama yon. Kaya nga, di ba, ewan ko kung napanood mo yung hearing kahapon sa DOJ, ang sinasabi nila, hindi ang nasupina naman raw, hindi naman raw yung bangko at hindi rin yung bangko yung nagte-testify, yung AMLA raw ang nagte-testify. Pero ano ba yung sinabi? Hindi ba tungkol sa bank transactions yun?
Yan, oo.
So, you cannot circumvent it that way.
So kung susumayo mo talaga, yung source ng AMLAC sa mga bangko rin, hindi po ba?
Oo, totoo. Yun rin. Kasi yun rin yung gustong palabasin during the Committee on Justice hearing di ba? Na yun nagmula sa mga bank transactions raw. Di ba dapat yun? Then it is covered by yung bank secrecy. You cannot circumvent the law that way.
Ayan.
At saka, kung mapapansin mo, ako rin nagtaka at I pointed this out. Ang present nung AMLAC, simula 2005 hanggang 2025. What I raised nga, teka muna, ano yung relevance nung 2005 until 2021 na report na sinubmit? Si Vice President Duterte was not an impeachable officer during those years. Naging impeachable officer lang siya mula nung nahalal siya bilang Vice Presidente. And that is between from 2022.
Yun nung sa AMLA, maliwanag na ho yun mga kababayan. Ha? Maliwanag na ho yun. Walang kwenta yung mga pinagsasabi ng taba-ching-ching na yun. Talagang paninira lamang ho yun mga kababayan. Pinag-ad-ada kung ano-ano, di ba? Bagay, wala na naman naniniwala. Isa ito si Congressman Bong Suntay na nakapagpaliwanag na maayos dyan sa House of Representatives na ano nga ba talaga yaang ano na yan, yaang mga naglabas-pasok na pera na yan sa mag-asawang Duterte Carpio.
Hanggang 2025. So dapat, ang ibibigay mo lang is from 2022 to 2025.
O nga, may mga technicalities pala, Congressman Bong Suntay, pagka-ordinary tayo mga hindi natin malalaman yung mga ganyan. At least na ipapaliwanag po ninyo. So, na-discuss na po sa mini trial sa Kongreso kahapon. So, paano ito? Talagang, alam natin, damaging ito sa Vice Presidente. So, paano i-correct ngayon ito, Congressman Bong Suntay?
Well, this can be corrected now sa na pagka na-elevate ang itong complaint sa Senado na, di ba? Or the camp of the Vice President can question the proceedings na nangyari sa Committee on Justice sa Supreme Court. Pwede nilang questionin. Yun yung mga options. Para sa akin, yun yung mga options ng Vice Presidente. Kaya nga, lagi rin natin sinasabi sa mga kapwa natin Pilipino ay tingnan mabuti kung ano yung nagaganap. And if there is no violation dun sa basic procedural rights ng Vice Presidente. Yung atin lang naman, alam mo, ang atin, gusto natin is to be fair and be just to all. Both the complainant and the respondent.
Ayan na. Matitindi itong mga aligasyon sinuwalat ni former Senator Trillanes, Congressman Bong Suntay. At ayan, nabanggit din yung pagtanggap umano ng pamilya Duterte ng 2.4 billion pesos mula sa mga drug lord. So,
Alam mo,
sige po.
under the rules of evidence, alam mo, mahirap tanggapin yon because those are hearsay dahil hindi naman yung mga ganong ebidensya should be based on personal knowledge.
Yun, based on
Yung
personal knowledge pala ho yun.
nandun ba si former Senator Trillanes nung nagkabigayan at meron siyang personal knowledge?
Yan.
And any document presented, especially mga private documents na ipinapakita, should first be authenticated.
Naku po,
There was
di pa pala na-authenticate yung mga binibida ni Trililing doon.
no
Naloko na.
chance to authenticate what was presented by former Senator Trillanes. In fact, those were the same issues he raised against former President Rodrigo Duterte way back nung 2016.
So, masabi mo, parang hearsay po ito dahil wala siyang ebidensya, wala siyang personal knowledge, Congressman Suntay.
Oo, kaya nga tapos nire-relate nila, 'di ba? O meron mga ganitong mga kesyo may ganitong amounts tapos kung pinapatingin sa AMLA AMLA meron bang ganyang mga transactions during that time, yung records ng transactions which AMLA has are records of cumulative yun. Cumulative amount. Ibig sabihin, mga ins and outs na pumapasok sa various account ng isang tao. It doesn't mean may ganung total amount na pera dun sa loob ng account. So anong ibig kong sabihin? And I pointed this out. And pinaklarify natin. Kunyari may 500, under the law, any deposits or withdrawals amount or any transactions amounting to more than 500,000, automatic nire-report sa AMLA yan. It does not mean it is a suspicious account or suspicious transaction. Basta under the law, anything above 500,000 should automatically be reported by the bank. So, kung meron kunyaring nag-deposit sa akin o nagbigay sa akin ng 500,000 dahil meron akong otong binenta. Kunyari, bumili ako ng auto na lang. Ang auto is worth 500,000. So, mag-i-issue ako ng cheque o magbabayad akong 500,000. Ngayon, isasubmit ng bangko yan sa AMLA kasi it's 500,000. May lumabas may transaction na worth 500,000 eh. Now, kunyari, yung binili kong auto, eventually, binenta ko, tumubo ako ng 100,000, nabenta ko ng 600,000. So, binayaran ngayon ako ng 600,000. So, nakatanggap ako ng 600,000 ngayon. So, ang doon sa AMLA, sa record ng AMLA, may 1,100,000 ngayon na transaction sa akin. Pero in fact, that was the same 500,000. Tumubo lang ng 100,000. So 100,000 lang yung nadagdag. Kunyari, yung 1.1 million, yung 600,000 na ibinayad sa akin, pinambili ko ng bagong auto. At di may lumabas na naman na 600,000 sa account ko. Di 1.7 million na. The same 500,000, 1.7 million na. That exponentially it grows. But it doesn't mean that I have that money sa bangko ko.
Ayan, sa bagay, sinabi ng mga suspicious transactions. Pero paano madedetermine ni Senator Trillanes na yung pati si Kitty, si Baste, ayan si Congressman Pulong, yung mga deposits sa kanilang mga accounts ay nanggaling sa drug lord?
Yun nga. Those are kaya nga sinasabi ko kanina, those are hearsay and they have to be authenticated and proven properly. Kasi madaling magsabi na, nag-deposit, may amount, may nag-deposit ng 5 million, galing yan sa drug lord. Pero bakit meron bang how can we verify kung kanino naggaling yung source of funds? At kung yung pera from an illegal transaction.
Okay. Congressman Bong Suntay, kung ganito po ang pananaw niyo sa mga sinabi ni Senator Trillanes, so paano nyo ang gagawin ngayon para mabura ito, mawala sa record ng Justice Committee na maisasama sa kanilang mga report? Anong legal action na pwede yung gawin dito, Congressman?
Well, alam mo, the thing is, because yung hearings in the Justice Committee, collegial yan, pinagbubutuhan yan. And once pinagbutuhan doon sa committee ng mga members na tatanggapin nila yan, ay wala ka nang magagawa. Tatanggapin at isasama yan sa report ng Justice Committee. I think yung recourse, as mentioned earlier, yung recourse ng Vice President through his legal team is either to question it in court, in the Supreme Court, or to refute it pagka umabot sa Senado yung impeachment complaint.
So, hahayaan nyo na lang yan. Pagbubutuhan na lang, Congressman.
Ganon ang proseso sa numbers
game na lang yan. Oo. Sa tingin ninyo, ilang kayong dedepensa kay BP sa ganito mga aligasyon?
Ay, hindi natin
Matansya.
ma-determine kung ilan lang, ilan ba, but well, alam mo, doon sa House, syempre makikita naman natin dyan yung the manner or the trend kung paano bumoto yung mga members.
Ayan na.
And from that trend, you can already sum up kung ano yung magiging numero sa botohan.
Di ba sumasama ang loob ninyo, Congressman Bong Suntay, dahil parati kayong barado, pati si Congressman Marcoleta, barado kay Chairperson Congresswoman Luistro.
Well, ganyan talaga. Sabi nga, ano yan? Ano ba yung lagi nilang sinasabi? Hawak mo yung beat.
Sila may hawak ng bit, kaya ano na lang, pabayaan na lang na gano'n.
Ako naman, I just want to be fair. Fair to everyone. Both to the respondent and to the complaint. Kaya nga, alam mo, Lakay, sinabi ko, kung paano namin trinato yung impeachment complaint that was filed against the President, dapat ganun din yung pagtrato ng impeachment complaint filed against the Vice President. So that maipakita naman natin that the members of the House are fair and just.
Congressman Bong Suntay, sir, maraming salamat sa paliwanag. Thank you and good morning.
Hayun na nga mga kababayan, diretso ho tayo dito kay Atty. Sheila. Pambihira ako. Palapakan natin tong siya. Grabe. Idol na ho natin to. Idol na ho natin niya si Atty. Sheila. Hindi lang siya malupit, maganda pa. Dapat sana ganito itsurahan ng mga nasa Justice Committee. No? Kaso ito si Luistro, bakulaw ang itsura eh. Sayang lang kumakabayan. Sa bagay, no, nasa ano naman siya, nasa tamang side siya ng kasaysayan. Kaya ano tayo dyan, palakpakan tayo para dito kay Atty. Sheila. Parang siya, no? Parang ito si Atty. Karen Jimeno, di ba? Na-impeach si Corona, kung ano-ano aligasyon sa kanya, maya-maya na-absuelto siya. Pero tayo, hindi na tayo maaabot doon na magugurgur si VP Sara para ika nga magkaalaman na inosente siya. Hindi ho. Ngayon pa lang, ika nga may kanaho itong mga defense team na itong si VP Sara. Pakinggan nyo ho, napanood nyo naman yung ating intro. Kaya naman, rekta na ho tayo dito kay Atty. Sheila. Gabe!
Good afternoon po. Kahapon po lumabas din sa hearing na di umano nakatanggap ng pera si VP Sara and her relatives from a certain Samuel Uy na allegedly ay isa pong drug lord. Comment ko lang po dito, and does she know Samuel Uy?
Yeah. Thank you, Victoria. As to her personally knowing Samuel Uy, hindi namin napag-usapan pa. But with, I think it's open, it's public information naman na kaibigan talaga ni PRRD si Samuel Uy. Now, as to the allegation of him being a drug lord, I think that's I don't have the facts. That's merely an allegation, no? So we shouldn't conclude anything out of that. Again, unless proven in the court of law, I don't even want to go there and say alleged drug lord. Saka kawawa rin naman kasi yung tao, no, na nadadama yung pangalan. Pagdating dito sa mga perang na banggit kahapon, I think ang sabi ay manager's check. We have to note that ang nakasabi lang naman is a manager's check was allegedly nagpagawa ng manager's check allegedly si Sammy Uy, wherein the recipients are the Vice President and ganito and who else. So, yun lang yung nakasulat no? Wala naman dun anything na natanggap talaga nila. And as you know, the Vice President already issued a statement denying that she had received any of these amounts of money that were presented yesterday. Now, again, we don't want to get into the details.
Saka yung bagay na yung mga grupo ni PRRD at grupo ni VP Sara, magkaiba ho yan. Hindi necessary na ito kaibigan ni PRRD, campaign na donor ni PRRD, ganun din siya kay VP. Hindi ho ganun yun. Kung inyo maalala, noong pumasok dyan sa pagka-mayor itong si VP, nung pinalitan niya ang kanyang ama, lahat ng tauhan niya sa City Hall, pinalitan lahat ni VP Sara. Tapos itong kaibigan ni PRRD, automatic na ba kaibigan ni VP Sara? Hindi ho totoo yun. Doon pa nga lang Doon pa nga lang talagang tatarayan na ho sila nitong si Atty. Sheila.
Yes, but those checks, we're confident that we will be able to clarify everything and show the public kung ano talaga yung nangyari sa checks and kung meron man talaga, no, pagdating ng trial.
And also, attorney, si Committee on Justice Chair Luis Tro, sinabi naman po niya kanina sa isang interview na the evidence versus VP Sara surpassed threshold of probable cause for impeachment. Your comment on that?
Well, I guess, again, with all due respect to Chairperson Luistro, no, I don't want to be debating with her, but it's being the chairperson of the Committee on Justice, sabi nila, yan nga ang trabaho nila, mag-determine ng probable cause with that statement. So I guess we know what her position is. So, and if they put it to a vote, again, nasa kanila naman yan, yung determination ng probable cause. If it so happens that talagang magkaroon ng determination of probable cause, this is given to plenary and transmitted, tayo, we will not anymore debate on what they did there, but we will just face them in the Senate. Of course, without waiving the petition that we filed before the Supreme Court regarding what we see as constitutional infirmities dito sa mga proceedings na ito.
Next is Mr. Jason Vivico of Samantala.
Hello to Ms. Jason Bonan as Minay. So first question, well, under po sa AMLA, bans or under po sa Section 9 ng AMLA, it provides for that SDRs and CDRs shall not be disclosed and are protected from public release. And this confidentiality po is reinforced by the bank secrecy law and related financial privacy laws. So babalikan ko lang yung tanong, sir, posible po bang bayang nalabag na batas ang AMLA at ang House Committee on Justice sa paglalagdag po ng bank accounts ni VP Sara Duterte and Attorney Mans Carpio, and posible po ba na dadalhin po ninyo ang usapin na ito sa Korte Suprema if may nakita po kayong paglabag sa constitutional rights ni VP Sara?
Can I think you said it yourself, no? Kung yun yung nilalaman ng batas, malinaw naman yung sinasabi ng batas. That those information are strictly confidential, cannot be disclosed. Hindi ba?
Nako, iyari si Piggy Bank dito. Yari yung bagong director ng AMLA dito.
But we've seen otherwise from what happened before the committee hearing yesterday. Now, as to any actions that we plan to take or the personalities involved plan to take, it's something that I hope you understand we will not be able to disclose at this point.
Yan. Ano lang ho yun, ang sinasabi nitong si Atty. Sheila, para doon sa baboy na taga-AMLA, mag-diet ka na. Nice one, Atty. Sheila, nice one.
Just to add on, we are, and just to emphasize, we are fully aware, in fact, that Section 8A, if I'm not mistaken, of the law as amended. No?
Second question, ano po ang panawagan po ninyo sa public? Kasi parang ang lumalabas po na lahat po ng mga sinasabi ko sa House Committee on Justice ay parang tinatanggap na katotohanan ng mga iilan. So ano po ang panawagan ninyo sa publiko sa gitna po ng usapin ngayon involving the Vice President?
Siguro simple lang po talaga ang panawagan namin. No? Let's just be cautious doon sa mga lumalabas without saying that they're false because that's really not my point. I'm not saying false yung mga lumalabas. So all I'm saying is we have to be cautious, especially with the way things are being presented. And ang panawagan namin is hintayin nila kami. No? Hintayin nila na kami naman ang magpresenta ng aming ebidensya para pabulaanan lahat ng mga lumalabas ngayon laban sa ating Vice Presidente.
Sir, pahabol last question kasi sinabi po ni Vice President Sara kung sa kanyang statement na isa sa mga nasa report ng mga parata ng former Senator Trillanes is the city president. So, may magiging hakbang po ba ang defense team laban po sa Pangulo?
I don't think we're I don't think we're at liberty to discuss things like that because we're just limited to the impeachment proceedings. So sa atin di kami magko-komento anything outside, especially of course if it relates to the president. Wala po kaming kinalaman diyan. Kami po ay dito lang po kami sa impeachment nakafocus.
Ms. Rinfa Lavalod of Zidapag. Good afternoon po, attorneys. Question ko po una, sasagutin niyo ba o hindi na talaga sasagutin o i-refute yung po mga lumabas na allegations sa House?
Sasagutin po sa impeachment court. Doon po natin sasagutin lahat yon. Doon po naman ang tamang forum kung saan namin masasagot lahat ng yon.
So, wala at all po, o hindi na kayo magsasabit ng any pleadings or any manifestation sa House Committee on Justice?
We have to wait for developments. No, we cannot say that we will not submit any manifestation whatsoever. But you have to remember that the main petition before the Supreme Court is really questioning the jurisdiction as to the nature of the proceedings that are being conducted. Again, hindi namin kino-question ang power of the House to initiate impeachment proceedings. I think that's very clear under the Constitution. We don't want to even try to blur that line. I mean, admittedly, they have the sole power to initiate. Ang kino-question lang po namin ay jurisdiction in terms of conducting this type of committee hearings.
And then, di ba isa dun sa reason po na inyong pagduwag sa Supreme Court yung sinasabi na mini-trial na yun nangyayari? Napatibay po ba nung nangyari kahapon yung inyong argumento na yan? At gagamitin po ba yan sa pagpa-file ng panibagong petition or any rejoinder sa Supreme Court?
Well, no, we cannot file a new petition anymore, no? Kasi may pending na tayong petition. But if you're asking us if what we've seen so far from the committee hearings actually support what we had stated in that petition, I think we're not naive, hindi ba? We have observed what's been happening sa committee hearings, pati yung pagpapalabas ng iba't ibang subpoena para kumuha ng mga sinasabi nilang ebidensya, kahit ang mga ito ay hindi naman bahagi ng dalawang impeachment complaints na sinasabi nila ay under preliminary investigation, di ba? In fact, it's probably important to tell you now that maging yung supplemental affidavit ni Mr. Madriaga, yung AMLAC report, yung affidavit ni former Senator Trillanes, and all those other evidence, no, that they were able to obtain na after final yung impeachment complaint, wala kaming kopya niyan bago yan ibinahagi sa komite. Kasi nga, hindi siya kasama ng impeachment complaint.
Nako, ang dami ho pala talagang problema ng impeachment na to. Kaya kung ako dito sa Korte Suprema, dapat aksyonan nila ito dahil talagang abuso na ginagawa ng Injustice Committee, di ba ho?
Pati yung notice or yung decision ng COA on the appeal of the Vice President at ng ibang respondents doon sa confidential funds. Bigla na lamang doon sa komite sinabi na denied na, no? Which, that's fine. Kung sinabi nila sa unang hearing, April 14, am I right? April 14, na wala na deny na yung appeal ng Vice President. And I think you've seen, no, some of the personalities na they were claiming, final na ba yan? Final na ba yan? Of course, hindi final. I think alam naman yan ng komite na hindi yan final. Alam din yan ng COA na hindi pa yan final. In fact, I can recall na sinabi ni Atty. Camora na meron pang remedyo. There's still a legal step that can be done by the respondents in that appeal to elevate it, no, to the Supreme Court or to question the decision of the COA. So, hindi pinal. Kung ipipilit na pinal na yung COA decision na yan o yan ay maaari nang maging batayan para doon sa sinasabi nilang pagbabalik, restitution, etc., etc., mali yan. Mali. I mean, when I invite you all have access to the internet, you will find na hindi yan pinal. At kung sino man magsasabi na pinal yan, ay hindi nagsasabi ng tama.
Yan.
Mr. Lance Marigos,
Sino ba nagsasabing pinal? Taray nitong si Ato. Ako natatakot ako dito kay Atty. Sheila, ha. Ang dami ko nang nakitang abogado pero dito lang ako natakot, ibang klase. Tingin pa lang talagang nangangain . Saludo, Atty. Sheila.
Salamat po. Medyo natanong na rin ako kanina, pero
Kahit hindi ako tinitignan, parang kinikilabutan ako.
para lang po ma-clarify, pasensya na. Sa tingin niyo ba na may
Oh, yung mga ano, behave. Yung mga reporter behave sila kaya Atty. Sheila. Ano to, kalalamunin ka.
na-violate ang mga karapatan ng Vice President dun sa pag-release ng mga information ng AMLAC at ng documents ng BIR kahit na hindi nabuksan yung sa BIR documents, and what do you intend to do about it?
Same answer po. We are aware of provisions of law that provide for the confidentiality of such documents. As to what we're going to do about it, as I said, we're not at liberty to disclose the legal steps that we will be taking regarding these matters.
Mr. Lance Monaco, Ms. Welch, good afternoon, sir. So, kanina po you've also explained kahit hindi masyadong detalyado na dun sa 6.7, it's probably aggregated, etc. Perhaps sir, without going into detail lang din, what's the simple explanation dun po sa wala daw cash on bank and in hand si VP Sara from 2019 to 2024, and yung 3 years din at least ay sakop ng kaniyang termino bilang Vice President?
Opo. Thank you for that question, Sir Lance. No, I guess the simple explanation in consultation with, of course, the client, because is she disclosed. She disclosed. No, I can understand na the confusion kasi accurate naman sinasabi, walang line item ng cash in bank. Accurate naman yun. No? But what I'm saying is she disclosed because it was all lumped under yung others. No? Kasi sa personal items, kung makita nyo dun sa SALN, nakasulat dun vehicles or others, ganyan. So yung cash in bank, kasama siya dun sa others. So she disclosed, no, yung walang sinasabi doon na wala siyang cash in bank, nakalump lang siya sa others.
Okay, thank you, sir.
But I just wanted to clarify kasi baka sabihin parang sinasabi naming mali o sinungaling yung mga House members yesterday. Hindi naman po. Kasi ang sinasabi naman nila is walang line item ng cash in bank. So now we're just clarifying upon consultation with our client na she disclosed all of those actually. It was just lumped under others or I think various, one of those things.
Alright, thank you po for the explanation. Yung isa pa naman pong tanong, you've mentioned sir na and snap, sabi mo hintayin na lang yung publiko na dun sa detailed answer kapag dumating tayo sa trial. But sir, siguro, just in the scenario na walang probable cause or there's no trial na mangyayari sa Senate, even though may mga nagsasabi naman ng babatas na may probable cause to move the impeachment proceedings or move the impeachment case, can the public still expect a detailed answer on these allegations and these financial records kahit po walang trial?
Wala pa kasi tayo doon, so napakahirap sumagot. But this is partly also why we're here, diba? Because we all realize this is both a political and legal exercise, diba? It's a sui generis matter. Kaya nga, kahit kami, sa totoo lang, ayaw namin nagpapa-interview. In fact, ako, try talaga ako although kailangan, nagtatry akong umiwas sa inyo. Alam niyo yun, kasi minsan nakikiusap ako sa inyo na hindi mo na magpapa-interview because kami, we're more focused on the legal. Ayaw namin nung public debate. No? But in any case, we do understand.
Ayaw ho nila yung drama. Kumbaga, kung mag-i-impeachment na, sa impeachment trial court tayo magano. Sa impeachment court tayo mag-uusap-usap, diba?
But along with the legal, this is also a political matter. And that's why as much as I can, and the defense team can, we try to oblige certain interview requests para lang ma-explain sa public generally. Para lang hindi magkaroon kaagad ng misconception dun sa mga nangyari. But we're too far from that. Tingnan muna natin kung anong magiging desisyon ng ating House of Representatives ukol dyan. At kung magkaroon man ng, you never know, sabi nga ng Senate, they will start the trial forthwith kaagad pag umabot sa kanila itong articles of impeachment. So, pinaghahandaan talaga ng defense team yun sa ngayon.
Lastly, Mr. Chair, Chelwan of Billionaire News Channel.
Good afternoon, Reverends. Meron lang sa April 29, ang topic na pag-uusapan is we scrutinize yung alleged evidences, threats, umano ni VP kay PBBM
Two-part video ho ito, two-part video.
First thing that for mga specific bankers. Ano po yung expectations ng Morgan sa hindi magkakapit? And so far, wala pa yung presentation of evidences. Ano ba yung overall stance ng defense team with our issue?
Well, actually, the issue of grave threat is pending litigation. It's nasa DOJ yan, no? So we have already submitted our defenses there. Pagdating naman sa expectation namin sa hearing, honestly, mas maganda siguro itanong na lang sa members ng Justice Committee kasi kami, wala talaga kaming alam, no, kung ano yung mangyayari that day. Handa lang, meron na kaming posisyon on the grave threat issue at obviously we cannot disclose that as of the moment, but you will see our position if ever this goes up to the Senate. I think malinaw naman na sa amin na kaya naming depensahan ng Vice Presidente ukol dyan sa nangyari yan.
Siguro, if ever na nakaka-akit ito sa Senate, gano'n confident yung defense team na mananalo kayo for Bibi Sara
Well, the defense team is not here to lose, hindi ba? So, minuno kami, we only have one target. It's not just to win, but actually to show the general public and the people of the Philippines na walang katiwalian, na walang katotohanan sa mga ikangay katiwalian na binabato sa ating Vice Presidente. And when we talk about vindication,
Palakpakan muna natin itong si Atty. Michael Poa. Pakahusay. Yan ang kaibahan. Yung sa tono pa lang ng boses, maririnig na natin yung sincerity diyan sa defense team. Hindi kagaya ng mga merong saltik sa mini trial diyan sa Injustice Committee. Talagang kitang-kita nyo ho yung ika nga gusto lang nilang matanggal itong si BP Sara para absuelto mga tumbong nila sa 2028.
Here, diba, tinatanong kami, do you feel vindicated with the Supreme Court decision? Kami mismo nag-admit na hindi kasi wala pa tayo sa merits. So, maybe only that time will the Vice President feel vindicated, no? And that's what we're here for. We're here to protect the rights of our client, and we're here to show the evidence, to present the evidence, to test the evidence of the prosecution, and to show the Filipino people na hindi korap ang ating Vice Presidente at walang katiwaliang ginawa ang ating Vice Presidente sa kanyang termino.
Last question na po, Ina Hernando Manila Philippines.
Hi, Ina. I haven't seen you for so long.
Hello. Hello, sir. Hello, everyone. Just one question lang po. No? How is your client, the Vice President, amidst all this? You mentioned kanina that you've discussed things with her. So, kumusta naman po siya amidst all this?
Business as usual, ang ating Vice Presidente. I really admire her strength, no, throughout all this. It's been happening since, I think, 2023 na parati siyang may atake. So, and I've seen it up close when I was with her. So, kilala niyo naman ang Vice Presidente natin. She's just business as usual. She's going about her business, dito sa OVP. Sinisigurado lang niya na tuloy-tuloy ang mga proyekto ng OVP. At pagdating naman dito sa mga problemang legal, nandito naman ang defense team niya na binuo niya maaga pa para sigurado na siya na madedepensahan siya ng tama, no, kung sakali mang umabot tayo sa impeachment trial.
We think of a from the media before we invite the defense team to share a closing message.
Closing
Well,
message.
hindi na po kami mag-closing message. Isang malaking pasasalamat na lang po sa inyong lahat at isang paumanhin because in the next few days, I will really not give too many interviews. Pili lang po talaga, not because of favoritism or anything like that, but because, as you know, again, we do not want to litigate this case in the media. We want to follow process. At pagdating sa media, it's really clarifications that we give. We respect yung pananaw both ng mga supporters natin and even those who are against us. So we don't want to engage in any debate with them. Clarification lang din po yung gagawin ko sa media in the next few days. At anytime naman po na sa tingin namin kailangan talagang may ma-clarify na malaking bagay, we will always be here to give you a press con. And pag nagsimula naman po siguro yung impeachment trial, we will definitely oblige, no? In fact, that's why sinama ko rin dito si Attorney Narvasa, si Attorney Bodota, meron pa kami si Attorney Benluan, who will also help me pagdating sa communications sa media, kung ano yung mga pangyayari para lalong maintindihan ng ating mga kababayan kung ano yung mga legalidad at pangyayari na mangyayari sa trial sa pang-araw-araw. Thank you. Yeah, sige po.
Times and we're asking this again, Attorney. So, may isa pang hearing, sorry to say, na wala na talaga kaming aasahan na any attendance from the VP nor anyone from the defense team dahil talagang doon lang kayo sa impeachment court sasagot.
Yes, because that has always been our position. And we have to be and I think the members of the House also understand that that is our position. We filed a petition before the Supreme Court and we have to maintain and be consistent with that position.
I had to ask kasi that the chairman kahapon made an emphasis again na for the second time, ang empty chair lang ang aming kaharap. So, she's still maybe somehow hoping still that, one day, anybody from the team or no less than the VP would appear at the
Opo, sa amin, that's our position. From the members of the team, again, it's the same eh. Kung pumunta kami doon, it will be inconsistent with our position. And even if it wasn't, wala din naman kaming magagawa doon because again, our role is only to assist. We are the client, no? We can, or the respondent in this case. We are not even allowed to cross-examine, which is okay because again, what we're saying is, if it does go to trial, let's wait for the trial. Hintayin na lang kami mag-cross-examine so we can unmask,
Excited na ako pagka i-cross-examine na ng defense team yung executive director ng AMLA. Sana ipatawag nila yung AMLA nung pagka sakaling dumating sa punto na mag-i-impeachment tayo, ipatawag yung executive director ng AMLA.
All these witnesses against the Vice President and show you kung ano ba talaga ang nangyari dito sa mga aligasyon na ito.
This concludes our press conference on behalf of the impeachment defense team.
Si Atty. Sheila wala na. Ay, hinihintay ko lang naman si Atty. Sheila dito. Totoo lang. Si Atty. Sheila lang hinihintay ko. Atty. Sheila. Meron pa. Ayan, palakpakan natin si Atty. Sheila.
Thank you very much. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Gandang hapon.
Sayang naman. Ayun na nga mga kababayan, dito na natatapusin ang ating reaction video. Maraming salamat po sa pag-support sa PH Update. Mag-ingat po kayo lahat, wag po kayo magpabudol, no? Mahal natin Pilipinas.